Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Andy's got a pun.
Oh.
Andy's got a pun. What did his dad do?
I assume I got touched by him because...
yeah, that would be...
Yeah, that'd be a good reason to pull out a pun on my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you pull out puns all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes against your will.
Most often.
Yeah.
Against my will.
We're doing punny titles all month.
Yep.
What have we done so far?
Well, we did It's a Wonderful Life.
And Slaughterhouse.
Yes.
And then we're rounding it out with a feel-good fight movie of the year, Violent Night, starring Sheriff Hooper.
Hooper?
Or Hellboy, if you saw that movie.
Or Hellboy. I did see that.
Or Lily Allen's husband.
Or ex-husband, apparently.
Oh.
I don't know. Has that been confirmed?
I don't know. I need to check Reddit.
Have you guys talked to him?
You gotta look at the
Is he doing all right?
Instagram likes.
Hope he's okay.
Anyway, funny titles.
Yes, Violent Night is a play on Silent Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Well done.
You got it.
This guy over here.
So we'll get to that. And Andy had the roulette movie, which I've had to ask him 4 times today what it was called, and I think I remember now. Finally, The Sacrifice Game.
Yeah, good job.
Friday.
Thank
The Sacrifice Game.
I know all there is to know about Star Wars. The
So
Star Wars
that's coming later.
game.
We need to talk about something. We've talked about it via text, but we need to talk about it as a family right now. Our local theater just fucking closed out of nowhere. I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah. It
Clapped shut like that box in Pretty Woman.
That's her laughing when it got close on.
Yes, it's very vicious and angry, just like your laugh.
I try to do my best Julie Roberts laugh, but I can't. I don't have her joie de vivre.
I like to see the outtakes where he fucking clapped her fingers in the thing.
They were so soft.
Her fingernail fell off and just all bloody through the white glove.
Screamed at him.
You see the stunt performer. There's some dude dressed just like Julia Roberts with like bleeding
It's
stumps.
Rogers.
Yeah,
American Dad.
Roger was Julia Roberts stunt double on Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, though, it's a bummer. We kind of felt like Alise had pointed out a couple of times because every time we went there, we were like the only ones there.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but not good for them.
No. And that's exactly, yeah, she said, this is nice, but like, I really hope they don't close down because nobody's coming here. And like, the first day we tried to see Godzilla, the power went out.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably because they didn't pay their bills.
That's what I said. I was like, maybe they didn't pay their bills.
I think you may be right now. We were joking about it, but I think you were right because they were the only customer without power in that area.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff on Coleraine that was.
Was there?
There was a power outage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Well,
that
it's
part
a
of
little
town's
less
not
sad.
doing so well right now.
Yeah,
But it was a weird omen.
Yeah.
that and we saw Bruce Springsteen walking through the parking lot with a pad and a pencil and an acoustic guitar, and we were like, "We're fucked."
Yeah, he was shaking his head.
He's like, "This is gonna be a rough one." Oh, Coleraine Township, what happened to you?
Like, it's just not like it was the world's greatest theater or anything. It was just
It
close.
used to be. It used to be good. The only bad thing about that theater was that the seats were destroyed by COVID.
Oh, and like half the ladies' bathroom stalls were just fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Out of like 10.
But other than that, it was fine.
Oh yeah, and I mean it
Little
really
dangerous.
was. It was. I don't know. There's a lot of good memories there. That's the third special theater for me, to close down around here, because the old Northgate Cinema is special to all of us, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the Danbury Dollar Saver out of Forest Fair, Cincinnati Mills.
Stickiest floors in the world.
Again, a lot of us probably spent a lot of time there. Very, very.
Can you believe it? $1 movies.
Yeah, it was $1.
And do you remember when for a second they turned the old Northgate Cinemas into a $1 theater?
No.
I don't think we went at any point when it was like that.
I took the boys to a couple shows out there, but it was like really weird. Like it was like not always open. And it looked like some people just broken in and like opened a movie theater and put DVDs, like, because we went to like a Shrek movie that had been out for years, I think.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what's funny too is that theater, the one you're speaking of, Lowe's, Northgate Lowe's. Thank you for coming to Lowe's. Sit back and relax. Enjoy the show. We went there a lot. Yeah. And this most recent issue of Horror Hound Magazine, number 99, I actually inducted Demons into the Horror Hound Hall of Fame, which I saw in that theater. And I will always associate that movie with that theater. And yeah, we made a lot of really good memories at Escape too.
Yeah, we sure did. I took the kids to a lot of movies there. So that was a real sad one.
Yeah.
Well, it's even sad. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, like the last time we went and saw Thanksgiving, the fucking manager was telling us how they were going to be changing the chairs and fixing the chairs.
He seemed so excited too.
They made him look at the daisies or something, like right after we left. Yeah.
It's like, I know the chairs look bad. We're getting those recovered soon. And here's a picture of
top of the line.
George, when do we get new chairs?
George, hey George, the pleather. We destroyed the pleather, George, but I'm real excited. This is going to be a great season. All the new Marvel movies are coming out.
I guess, I mean, I get it, obviously. Nobody ever went, and that's fine. But it's just a fucking bummer.
But for some reason, like we always had talkers sit right behind us, regardless of how many people were in the theater.
It's part of it.
Well, what's funny, mostly we only saw old movies. So like we would go see
Birth of a Nation
movie on occasion, like Birth of a Nation,
The Goonies.
But we mostly saw movies like The Goonies,
Great Train Robbery,
and yeah. That was the first one we went and saw there.
Woman taking bath. That's a good one.
Was that the Edison electrocution of the elephant?
Oh, the electrocution. I'll never forget that night.
Yeah.
People wouldn't stop talking.
Topsy.
They're like, what is he going to do to that elephant? I'm like, shut up, my pain. Same as you. The quote,
anyway. So R.I.P. Northgate Escape. Also, can I bring up another R.I.P.?
Yeah.
Andre Braugher.
That was
it's fucking devastating.
Kicking
so
nuts.
young still.
Yeah.
He was my Friday nights in high school because I didn't go out Friday nights.
Yeah.
And Homicide: Life on the Streets at 10 o'clock on NBC.
He was maybe in my top, at least in my top 10 actors, and I was a huge fan of Men of a Certain Age too. That was a good one.
Yeah, he was great. He was really good.
Yeah, super talented. What a loss.
Mm-hmm.
You can't find Homicide streaming anywhere.
It's one of those mythical shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's so big, but then like everybody's like, what?
You have to go to the back streets of Baltimore to buy
Peacock
it.
better get off their asses and slap that up there. Come on.
On Reddit, they were talking about the huge shared universe with St. Elsewhere and how even like X-Files and Twin Peaks supposedly all connected.
Really?
Yeah.
I love this idea.
Oh.
In a way. And then part of me hates it.
Because Munch connects a bunch of them.
Oh, Munch, yeah.
Supposedly.
And he was on the X-Files as that, yeah.
Yeah, and supposedly Mulder, there's some throwaway line where he mentions being friends with Dale Cooper. Supposedly. You can't source me on this.
Well, it's interesting too
because I can look it up.
Remember David Duchovny was on Twin Peaks.
Yep.
So, you see?
Do you see?
The connections are here, man.
You said the X-Files reminds me. I just read an article. They are rebooting it.
How do you feel about that?
Again?
Mm-hmm.
No, this time it's not with
not the original
Mulder and
cast.
Scully. No, it's Ryan Coogler, the Black Panther director, is doing it for Disney.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure.
Kelley.
I'm not sure. X-Files is one of like, it's like very important to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, they're not erasing it by remaking it, so they can do whatever they want.
No, and
I will for sure be there to
I'm not
watch
saying it won't be good or anything, but I do feel like that's a, and I'm open. Listen, I'm not one of those people that was like, don't let Disney near my Star Wars. I was like, no, that seems perfect for them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how X-Files. I'm interested.
Disney's brand identity has become a lot more complex, so I think they can get away with it now.
Yeah,
Well, it's not about getting away. I just feel it's a tone. Everything has a tone.
Yeah,
it's got a very shiny tone over there.
Yeah,
I'm just curious. I'm not.
What I just don't,
because they're doing something bit me too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, Disney has kind of lost, like, Disney as a brand.
when you say Disney, what you mean is Fox, which they bought.
Really, Fox is making the X-Files, who made the original one. Right. They just happen to own them.
Oh, that's right. That is Fox property. All right, never mind.
No, but it's what I don't want, and what you're going to get is like a 10 episode series season every year and a half to 2 years. And it's going to be like this highly serialized, very like breakneck pace. And what was great about the X-Files was your Monster of the Week and your mythology, plus a shit ton of really fucked up bad episodes.
And if you knew, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kelley.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you knew that the mythology, to me, that was my least favorite part. When I would tune in,
I think that was everyone's least favorite part.
We're like, what's this bullshit again?
I knew that you had to have it.
Yeah, I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
Well, it's easier to have mythology now because you can watch things anytime you want.
Yeah.
Back then, if you missed an episode of X-Files, and it was a big episode about the aliens, you were fucked.
True.
That's true. Because I still to this day don't really follow the exact thing with that.
Oh, it definitely fell way off the rails starting about our season like 6.
Yeah.
Maybe even before that.
But Disney.
Yeah, they're not going to do like 20 episode seasons anymore where you have throwaway episodes with Monsters of the Week.
This conversation happens on our television, on Reddit, 200 times a day. And I go read them all because I feel the same way.
It happens here a few times too.
The stream, and people dissect like why. That's why a lot of things don't hit for people and why characters don't, because you don't have filler episodes to just sort of hang out with the characters and get to know just weird little details. And like you said, bad quote unquote episodes. Yeah. They build on the feel of the show, and it gives you like, you feel like you retain it better because you have to kind of remember week to week. And so a lot of people bemoan the loss of that.
And there was some fun in like the shared experience of the bad episode, because you'd be like, that X-Files last night, not so good.
Yeah, you're not going to have them swing for the fences like they did with the the black and white Cher episode.
Oh, Postmodern Prometheus, which is such a beautiful episode.
Did you guys watch the Kolchak, the Night Stalker reboot they tried to do where they sexed it up?
Oh no, I avoided it like the plague. That had that dude from Queen of the Damned, Stuart Townsend.
Yeah, it was
Kolchak.
Yeah, it was. And I think it was Gabrielle Union was his sidekick, maybe.
I think so too. Yeah.
So they put him in like a fancy, at the time, like high end Mustang, and all this stuff. And I'm like, did you guys watch Kolchak?
Right.
Like, he's just a gross, like, grimy poor guy who's trying to make a living as a journalist, and nobody will. It's Rockford Files.
Yeah.
With ghosts.
With monsters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, and I don't get it. And it's just,
there's a ghost in this room right now.
The tone.
Because clearly something died up Elsa's ass.
Oh, she
Well,
farted.
just pray they don't do that to Rockford Files.
Andy brought me a fart for Christmas.
If they try to bring me sexy, cool Rockford Files, then
It's already
they don't
sexy
know.
and cool.
But by
in the
not
70s
being
way.
that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like by hinting.
Kelley, did I show you?
You can't show him something on an audio podcast.
I just wanted to thank Aaron on the
show
air.
me. I can see it.
Aaron, I'm showing this to Kelley right now. Aaron
It's a potato head, right?
from Whorehound Magazine got me. Yeah, it's a Mr. Potato Head, but it's Chucky.
It's got a Karen haircut though.
He does.
Yeah.
It's Chucky, and it's on my Instagram and all that stuff. But
Freddy
it's adorable, but it's got the only thing that gives it Chucky is the jumpsuit, but it's got a Karen haircut.
It does have a Karen haircut.
It looks like earrings.
I think his shirt is on backwards.
I also like the Wallace and Gromit feel to the facial features a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did his shirt? Why is his belly exposed? There we go. You know, he wasn't snapped all the way into his potato
pants. It reminds
pants.
me a little bit of a higher end. Like, remember when McDonald's Happy Meal toys were good?
Oh,
yes.
the McNugget toys.
Like the the Muppet Babies toys. It reminds me of
the Christmas ones.
Yeah,
those were so awesome.
Yeah, a good version of that.
I just had to
guys
give
are so old.
a nod.
But the I believe
McDonald's toys were good.
Weren't those like extra though, like a couple bucks? I
don't think so.
The plush Muppet Baby toys.
Oh no, I'm not talking. I wasn't talking about the plush ones. I was talking about the little plastic ones that rode on little bikes. They all had like a little.
I believe Kermit had one of them had a skateboard, right?
One of them had a skateboard. One of them a scooter. One of them had I think just a skate.
Yeah.
There was like a little car. Yeah.
I need to like survey 100 like women, 100 men, and I need to like have them tell me how many toys they remember. And I feel like it's a dude thing or a dudes of your generation thing. That I'll give you Barbie and Cabbage Patch. That's all I got. I can't remember the name of everything else I ever had.
You know a toy I remembered the other day, gentlemen, and maybe you will or won't remember these, but I want to go back and get them. But the originals are expensive, and they're Zoids. Do you remember Zoids? They were the sort of they were like robot wind up toy. They were like models, and you put them together, and they were like they looked very complex, and they were like these robot like dinosaur kaiju things, and then you wound them up. They were like little wind ups along different parts of them, and they would walk all slow and Harryhausen and shit.
That's pretty cool.
And there were big ones and little ones, and they were fucking amazing. Zoids. And
Zoids.
See, when I hear the word Zoids, it doesn't toys don't come to mind. It sounds like a snack to me.
Yeah, I already think of the Noid from. Was he Domino's? The Noid.
Yeah.
The Noid was Domino's.
Gotta avoid them.
If you look up Zoids, though, one of you will probably, maybe not Andy, because you're a couple years younger than us, but man, fucking
Zoids.
They're the best toy in the whole wide world.
Is there a cure for Zoids, or is it they still working on a vaccine?
They're still working on it. You can live with Zoids.
You can manage it with medication.
So there was a show called Zoids too, huh?
Probably.
I wonder if it's related. It was from. Oh no, definitely not.
Is it Technozoids? Or is I'm thinking of something else?
Oh, they look like dragons and dinosaurs, or scorpions, or things, and they're robots, and they're toys.
I found them. They kind of look like Transformers a little bit.
Except way better.
But they have winders.
Because they're the best toy in the whole
I always
world.
like those robots that spat out sparks and made the whole house smell like sulfur.
Oh dear.
Robotics?
Is that what those were?
I think that was robotics.
But stat and spark guns. I like sparks.
My brother would terrorize me with it because he would make the sparks shoot at me.
Yeah.
And I thought, I would catch on fire instantly.
You might have. You saw what happened to Michael Jackson at that Pepsi shoot.
Maybe that wasn't robotics.
I can't. I can neither confirm nor deny because I don't know what you're talking about.
Robotics.
Well, that's just great. I think we've covered everything. Patreon.com/NOTLP. That's where we do that stuff. And there's bonus content there, and you get merch and whatever. But your money, you give your money, we give you stuff.
Boners content.
I was just trying to sign
what
to you.
are you
He's
signing?
telling you to write down the timestamp.
Oh my god, I will.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
all. The point of the pantomime was blown, though.
it's okay.
And Houday again. Because sports wanted to be. Bengals are fun this year. I don't. Even though Joe Burrow down, it's fun.
It is fun, and I was annoyed. I couldn't get the game.
You were the annoyed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's rant. I live in Cincinnati. They're playing the fucking game here. Why can't I see it on my television somewhere?
Why was that? Does anybody know? Is it because it was a Saturday game and they don't have like
everybody freaked out?
Do you
the
guys
local
remember?
affiliates don't have the license to it or something?
Do you remember blackout? We used to have game blackouts back in the day
When
where
they didn't sell enough or something.
Yeah.
That doesn't
It
happen.
happened often.
Yeah, well. Anyway, we had a good time, y'all. And no matter what happens, we had fun.
Yeah, we did. I'm having fun still.
Yeah, having a great time.
I'm fun. I guess we'll be right back after this.
Did I give enough? Okay, everything's fine.
I suppose.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Space. Andy? The Final Frontier.
You guys just can't help yourselves, can you?
It just comes out of me sometimes.
Talking about Star Trek all the time. Sacrifice Game. That's my roulette movie this week. Weirdly titled because I don't recall a game in this movie.
Do you feel like you made the sacrifice?
Yes. And it's the second movie this year from our roulette selections that had the word game in it.
It's a thing.
I watched the elevator game and now the sacrifice game.
It's the Andy game.
Yeah.
The Andy game.
Andy over here playing games.
I got game, baby. How you doing?
Oh my God.
Sacrifice Game. It's about, I like the premise. It's a boarding school and it's Christmas time. Ooh. And everybody leaves except these two girls and the teacher. And so they're just there by themselves. I love that setup.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of the movie, the setup and the premise. I will say, the first maybe 15, 20 minutes were really good. I was really excited about it. So like these girls are at the boarding school by themselves, and a cult, like very Manson family type thing, breaks in and tries to do this ritual to summon a demon.
And you said it's like 1972.
Yeah.
Is when it takes place.
Yeah, I was so excited because it gave me with the House of the Devil vibes.
Oh yeah.
And Black Coat's Daughter. I thought it was gonna be like a mashup of those, and I thought it was leaning that direction. But then once the cult members actually get to the boarding school, the tone changes so abruptly. It was kind of jarring, actually, because it was building up to be like a slow burn movie, and I love those. And especially with the premise that they're using, I thought it was just gonna be like very atmospheric and eerie and creepy. But Freddy watched it with me a little bit because it was a weird story, but I had to watch it at your house.
Oh yeah, because somebody fucking didn't drive well.
Yes, somebody knocked over the electrical pole in my neighborhood, and
oh my
I
lord,
had no electricity.
Was it like it looked like a flatbed?
Yeah, a truck
Crazy.
turned on his side and knocked over a pole.
Yeah.
So I had to pick Freddy up from the doctors, and then I said, I have no power. Can I watch it here? I was going to sit in the driveway.
And I'm like,
Lord.
watching on my phone.
And then he was watching it on his phone on the couch, and I'm like, Andy, I'm just working over here. You could just use the television. It doesn't matter.
I just didn't want to be a burden.
So I forced him to use the TV.
He literally turned the TV on for me and said, you're watching it here. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You got to work on yourself, Stan.
The first 20 minutes were good, but when the cult members come in, it goes downhill because it's those cult members you see from movies that talk like witty and all creepy, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Theater kids put on the Manson family as a play.
I mean, it's very like Natural Born Killers or like Quentin Tarantino villains. There's all this witty repartee, and
it's sort of like what happens in that last night at the El Royale or whatever.
Oh, Bad Times.
Bad times at El Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Hemsworth and the cult members all show up and do exactly what you're talking about, it just kind of.
Yeah, it sucked the life out of that one.
I mean, I don't mind it, but this one is just every single cliche you can think of that they would say. You know, they're chasing the girls, and he's like scraping the knife down a table, like come out wherever you are.
Wow,
that type of stuff, and like very like teasing, like I'm gonna get you type things, and like I
rub boogers all over your stuff.
It's just very movie-ish and very. It was at odds with the beginning where it felt so grounded and realistic, and it just turned into a cheap knockoff of Natural Born Killers and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Andy, though, you pointed something out to me that was a sketch from SNL that I had forgotten existed with Ryan Gosling and
Vanessa Bayer.
Yeah.
Just look up. I think it's called Santa Baby.
Yeah.
SNL.
It was hilarious because I'd seen just bits of this movie kind of in and out of the room, and Andy was like, "This reminds me of that SNL sketch," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he is so right. It is exactly. We should post it on the Discord.
It's basically just Ryan Gosling and Vanessa Bayer are guests at their new neighbor's Christmas party, and they say something about how Santa's coming, and then, oops, it turns out this couple really believe in Santa and are very excited to meet him, and are scary and are Mallory. What were they called?
Like Mickey and Mallory.
Mickey and Mallory.
Natural Born Killers.
About meeting Santa.
It was really funny, but I'll post it in the Discord.
But like,
it's in the podcast thread.
that was funny because they were riffing on something, but they took this one. This movie wasn't riffing on that. They were just taking these killers, like, I mean, the tone wasn't like serious, but they didn't do anything new with the witty, zany killers.
Right.
And they just pulled up. This movie just pulled from so many different horror movies, just to make it all these quirky little scenes. Like there's a demon possession, and then the girl that the demon's possessing does this like funky dance to like pop music.
Oh,
Like Freddy reminded me, it's very Night of the Demons mashed with the Wednesday Addams dance from Wednesday.
Do you think that's what they were riffing on?
I
maybe?
think so. Yeah, definitely.
wow,
We're
Because
trying to
very-
cash in
Yeah.
on it more so than riffing
Very fast
on it.
turnaround.
Yeah, it's like that viral video, Jen Ortega dancing, and like they're going off that. But it just took me out of it because it just pulled from so many different other horror movies. Like, I know what you're doing.
I see you.
I see you're not slick.
Seeing that.
Wait, it's a sacrifice game? Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I feel like we're pointing that out a lot lately.
what?
That this move. Well, It's a Wonderful Knife. We were all like, and then this scene was from this movie, and then this scene.
Oh, well, because I think it's a lot of, especially these kinds of movies, I think the people that make them bank on, well, the people that like these movies want to see the same shit over and over, and they like seeing these tropes and blah, blah, blah. And there's a certain audience that does like that, but
It's only fun for me when the formula is at least somewhat concealed under your own style.
yeah.
You have to mix it into whoever the creator is, like whoever's working on the project. You got to be like, okay, what's my voice, and how do I tell the closing the bathroom mirror bit my way?
Yep.
I'm fine with it. Then it's just when they're literally just recreating moments from other movies, it's like really boring.
Yeah, I felt the screenwriter was in love with their own. They like their own scent.
Yeah.
Speaking of scents,
Yes.
Elsa is just cracking
She
them
loves
off
that.
one after another.
And she's just like, I was gonna write this witty dialogue and have these scenes that are just so quirky and funny, because they kind of recreate the dinner scene from Texas Chainsaw for no reason. Like the victims are tied up to the table, and then the killers are just kind of like taunting them and teasing them.
I was washing the dishes during that, I think,
Yeah.
and but I did come in when they were riffing on Red Dragon.
Yeah.
They're just all doing the
Yeah.
stuff. Come on.
And then they all should do like when the demon possesses, it reveals itself. It's like demons are. I was telling Freddy, demons are just jerks.
They are. They're real pains in the beehole.
Did you apologetic about calling demons jerks, Andy? Or like you didn't want to like generalize?
Demons are great big buttheads. Huh?
I don't want to offend them because I don't want to be tied up to a table and be taunted by a demon either. But yeah, it's like if Pazuzu got it, like had it like possessed a girl and like had his like a 20-minute dialogue, monologue. Yeah, it's not good. 20 minutes were good. First 20 minutes.
Andy
And
recommends the first 20
I
minutes.
appreciate like the performers, like they tried. I appreciate their effort. There was one guy definitely channeling Steve Buscemi in terms of looks and performance. like mannerisms and voice and everything. But
He's a semi Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Good.
You didn't check to see were they related?
No, I don't.
okay.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I will say the ending was kind of cute. I don't want to spoil it, but like I don't want to. It's cute, and one of the killers was also pretty attractive too.
There you go.
Well, there you go.
You got to find something positive to say sometimes.
I mean, hey.
Agreed.
It's nice.
Well,
You learn more bees with honey
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
if you're luring bees.
And also, one of the actors here, his name is Gus Kenworthy. He is famous for being like a openly gay Olympian.
I knew that name, and I couldn't remember why.
Yeah, and they mentioned the Cincinnati Strangler too.
Yeah, it's like Cincinnati.
Nice.
Anything that mentions our city,
Even the Strangler.
you get a point. Automatic point.
Especially the Strangler.
Especially. All right. Well, thank you, Andy. I apologize for what this dog is polluting this air with. I don't know why. It just seems to be.
I think she
when we're
just
here.
knows at this point. It's like tradition for her.
She's a little bitch. I love her though. Okay. So the movie for next week is called Till Death Do Us Part.
Till death do with fart. in
Well,
here.
that too. Here's the description. After bailing on her wedding, a former bride-to-be must fight off her ex-groom and 7 angry killer groomsmen in order to survive the night. This movie's got people in it.
Oh.
Jason Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando Jones.
Oh.
And a dude that's in the movie we watched tonight, right? Yes.
Oh, that Cam guy.
Cam
guy's name?
Giganet. Cam Giganet.
Cam Gigapets.
You know, speaking of
He was in Violent Night too.
Jason Patrick,
Yeah.
David Hornsby, Rickety Cricket from It's Always Sunny, is supposedly producing and maybe writing a Lost Boys musical stage treatment.
I read that the other day and I couldn't remember who was putting it on.
Yeah. Him and somebody else.
But Freddie said the Lost Boys as a musical would work.
Yeah, I think it
Could
would
work.
because Schumacher's style lends itself to musicals. You know.
Yeah.
You need.
Alright.
All right, am I spin this wheel?
Spin the fucking wheel,
What's
dude.
the movie called again?
It's called Till Death Do Us Part.
All right. See if it senses my finger today.
Let's see. Mr. Kombrinck.
Oh, bummer. I'm just kidding.
I'll text it to you.
You're
It's
a
on
winner.
Tubi, if that helps. Anybody
Thank
with
you.
anything.
To be.
Or not Tubi.
I saw Jason Patrick in person at the last Horror Hound.
Oh, yeah? How do you look?
He looks good.
Looking good.
It looks good. Good.
And he's about the height you think. So you know how sometimes you see celebrities like, oh, they're short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's about exactly what
Yeah.
you'd imagine, huh?
Oh, great.
We will be right back right after this.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction.
This week's main attraction is Violent Night, starring David Harbour as Santa Claus.
It's pretty good.
I really like
I
this.
really
Yeah.
liked it too.
Fun movie.
It was just a joyful movie.
and
Yes.
triumphant.
This was one of those I kept telling because me and Alise watched it today, and both I think enjoyed it quite a bit. And it really it reminds me a lot of Krampus, in tone, and I really loved sort of it's a sweet Christmas movie, but just so brutally violent and amoral, and like it doesn't really pull too many punches at all. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, I like how they play it as a straight Christmas movie.
Yeah.
They didn't like riff on it or anything like that, or like make a parody or satire of it. It's just a straight up Christmas movie.
Yeah, the villain, John Leguizamo, he calls himself the Grinch or Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge. But he performs real Grinch duties. Duties.
Ew.
He does Grinch.
Like if
I
there's
also-
a real ass Santa Claus.
He's like,
He's
I'm
real.
serving Grinch realness.
Which I didn't know. I kind of was not hesitant, but I wasn't super excited about this because I thought it was like that Mel Gibson Santa movie where he's just like the fat man. It came out.
I didn't watch that one.
Well, I didn't watch it but nobody watched
about.
it. But it came out.
Was it not good? Like, is it not supposed to be good?
I prefer not to watch
nobody's
Mel
going to watch a Mel
movies.
Gibson movie. Is what
Well,
I mean.
you'd be surprised.
Oh well, I don't know. I don't know anyone that did watch
He's
it.
still got an audience.
But it was like he wasn't real. I don't think he was really Santa Claus. And I thought that this was like it was going to be some badass old like washed up mall Santa who has to kick some ass. But then when I found it was really Santa Claus, then it opened my heart.
Yeah, like a lot of those movies, they just play on like, hey, look, Santa's being naughty.
Yeah.
Or like the elves are cursing.
Yeah.
And that's the whole movie and that's the whole joke. But this had an actual like a story about Christmas and everything and
Had a lot
what
of
it
heart.
means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool because
And he was the real Santa Claus, and he was a drunk,
and he had a hard job.
and he missed his ex, Mrs. Claus.
He split from Mrs. Claus. Did you guys have a moment? I did.
I tell you, I did have. It wasn't a choke-up moment, but there was this moment where he's getting ready to beat some ass or something, and I started to say, well, you know, man, St. Nicholas, he's the descendant of fucking Vikings, man. And then the next scene was him pulling the fucking helmet on. Like,
Flashback to him as a Viking.
That's funny. It's very Highlander in that respect.
yeah.
Like the
That's really-
flashbacks.
Yeah, and I love how they didn't explain it of how he became Santa. They just accept it.
Christmas
And it
magic.
made sense. Like the way they did it, it made like total sense. And the people's reactions to it made sense. Like when they discovered the bag and reached into it, I thought, oh, now they're going to like pull out the ultimate weapon and like they're going to realize it's magic. But they just fucking threw the shit in the fire because who would think that was really Santa Claus? And even as some of them start to think it, like there's still this huge like real like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like I thought I thought they walked a really good tightrope of tone with this.
Yeah, they really did.
It was interesting. It felt like I wasn't sure where we were going at first. So some of my notes, like I have to come back and redo my notes a little bit. But at first I was like, oh, this is an Eat the Rich Christmas movie. Yay. I'm into it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I thought so too.
Beverly D'Angelo
Yeah.
is the matriarch of this rich ass family, and they're
Great
terrible.
casting, by the way. Casting her as the matriarch of the family because she's a Christmas legend.
Yeah, and what's funny, it sounded, I couldn't tell because she said it a little bit garbledly, but it sounded like she called the head of her kill squad Clark.
Oh, really?
Oh, maybe.
It sounded like, I didn't bother to check the IMDb.
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
It did feel like the son, like the dad. He's a son and a dad.
Yeah.
Beverly D'Angelo's son, dad of the little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pulled too many faces.
Oh no, I kind of liked
He
him.
was pulling faces.
He's charming.
Or a little bit of faces.
I liked him because he wasn't like a picture perfect, like, you know what I mean? Like everybody in this was a little gray and especially for a Christmas movie. And I think he's British trying to do American.
He is, yeah.
Is his wife British too?
No.
No.
Nobody else is.
It's funny because I feel like I could have just imagined an English accent coming out of her just looking at her, and she wasn't. She weren't even British.
No, she weren't.
Can you believe it? It's a good time. Like, I agree with you. Like going into it, I didn't know that he was really Santa. I too thought it was probably going to be a lot darker in tone than it really turned out to be.
Right.
It reminded me of Elf a lot.
Yeah, it reminded me. No, I had the same thought too. It reminded me of Elf a lot too.
It
Like if
did
Elf
have-
went super violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that premise of like these magical creatures thrown in the real world.
Yeah.
How people approach them and handle it.
And as violent as it is, it's not really all that violent.
It doesn't really kick it up until like the last third.
Then
was
it goes
pretty
balls to the
violent.
wall. Well, I mean, it's like they're doing Die Hard to a point.
Yeah, well, for sure they're referencing. Yeah,
Yeah, like the
Silly or
little
Die Hard,
the
that's
little-
what I wrote.
The little girl is like Carl Winslow, and Santa Claus is McClane. I can't remember Carl Winslow's character's name, and because you know how he's
Reginald
always
Val
talking.
Johnson?
Reginald Val Johnson,
Not Carl.
Carl Winslow. It's funny that you gave me
we
his
all
real
knew.
name.
Exactly who knew you meant. Yeah.
A shared universe again. But that he's with the CB talking to John McClane on the inside of the tower, where the little girl's in the room. She's kind of also Bonnie Bedelia's character from Die Hard in some scenes, but he kind of mashes those characters together. The writer just really did use that, I think, as a template for this. Like the style of villains that arrive, Scrooge and company, he calls himself Scrooge. That's right. And they all have Christmas code names, but they function like Hans Gruber's team.
Exactly.
They're goons.
Yeah.
No, I think it references movies really well too, especially like the Home Alone stuff, because they deliberately call it out and then she pluses.
But I love it because they make it
the booby traps.
Yeah, they make it realistic.
Yes.
Yeah,
because in Home Alone, like they would never ever survive that stuff.
Yeah.
But this one, it makes it realistic.
She Home Alones them to death.
And it shows you what would really happen to them if they got caught in these booby traps.
Which is great because
through the jaw, man.
Oh
was
my
just
god!
like,
The fucking nail through the jaw. Like she puts a nail on the staircase to the attic where she's hiding. So Bjorn, the bad guy's coming up there, and he's like, "I see your fucking nail." But what he
he's
doesn't
already talked shit about her.
Yeah.
What he doesn't see is the broken, like the half broken step underneath it. So he gets that broken step, falls down.
She
nail
Charlie
through
works
his
him.
Jaw.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It was
Yeah.
a good trap.
It was a very satisfyingly horrible
It was like a Predator
booby
level
trap
trap.
moment. Yeah.
But there are moments that are a little hacky, but like it's whatever. I'm not mad about it, but one of those moments being he gets the nail out of his face and he's looking at it.
Yeah, for no reason.
He's holding it up in the air above his eye. And he's
Oh.
just staring at the point of it like, wonder
the
what
whole
happened
point-
here.
The whole point of that was the telegraph, though.
Yeah.
But it was just silly. And then the
Well,
bowling
it's
ball
comedy.
smashes it into his face, which was delightful.
Yeah, it was the telegraph. Like you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But hacky, like John Leguizamo's character, everything he said. Like everyone knows that Christmas dreams are bullshit.
Do you think? I feel like he was in on it though. Like he knew he was. doing bad dialogue.
He was
Oh,
chewing the
yeah.
scenery.
Yeah, he was.
I loved him in this. I
It
thought he was a
worked.
really good villain.
Yeah.
Like this was such a just a really, for me, a really good tone that pairs well with, because I feel like we're starting to get peppered now with like genre Christmas movies every year. I know they've always have been, but I feel like especially after Krampus, it felt like they're like, we got to give like 5 to 7 of these every year. 4 of them will be horror, and like one of them will be about just a horrible like, you know what I mean? And some of them are good and some of them are whatever, but I thought this one for me, I really liked this reminded me of stuff that I like. I told Lisa, I was like, I'll watch this again next year. This would make a great double with Krampus.
Yeah, and also like Andy, what he was describing the sacrifice game, and the problem with that was it was doing the same sort of idea of riffing on all these other things, but like it was not really in on it. It was trying to hide its influences, I think, a little bit, and kind of just rebrand it and repackage it for an audience, whereas this one was more like they know the audience gets all these references, so they're going to build moments into their screenplay that acknowledge that these are from other movies.
Yeah.
And then put their own slight spin on each point that they're riffing on, and that's the thing that made this, I think, a lot more palatable as a pastiche than like what Andy had to say.
It knows what it is. It's like leaning hard into the action and the Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
They don't like pick one over the other.
Oh my God.
I also have to say what I like. One of the things I like about the feel of this, and I feel like some people like this and some people don't. Like this clearly was meant. This was like a bigger budget movie. I think
It was in theaters.
Yeah, it was a bigger theater movie. It had that big Hollywood
It looks
movie
expensive.
feel. And I feel like that lends itself well to movies like this. Like I feel like with a small, like this could have been done a lot worse. I feel like, and I feel like some of that in beginning helps it a little bit.
Well, it's got that classic like movie Christmas movie feel.
It does.
Of the grand beautifully decorated house.
Yep.
This
And
is
motherfuckers
and
with
rich,
all their
and rich
snow.
people.
this
Yeah.
is the writer-director who did the Dead Snow movies, which if you like this,
Tommy
already-
Wirkola.
Which
Yeah.
those are good movies. John Leguizamo just straight up punching Beverly D'Angelo in the face made me gasp.
It was a great moment, man, because also that was, like I said, another thing. They didn't pull punches usually in this.
And
like
they didn't then.
people, like shit happened you did not
Yeah.
think was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because they put like everybody in danger, not just the adults. Like they were like calling the little girl little fucker and you little bitch, and they were like going hard on that little that teenager kid.
The Burt Locker. Bertrude, who's
Justin Bieber-esque.
his TikTok or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
the influencer.
He's the Burt Locker, which I
That
thought
was
that was
hilarious.
fucking funny.
Yeah, and it had some like really witty dialogue and
And
like
they called that
a
Cam
script.
Gigagindanet guy, they called him Tragic Mike,
Yeah.
which is very funny too.
And I love when they do the torture scene that they use nutcrackers to do it. That was a nice touch.
That was one of those moments where like they stick his finger in the nutcracker, and this is like our dad character. And like it wasn't that I completely didn't think they would do it, but like a lot of times they pull that back before it happened. They fucking tore that dude's finger up
Yeah.
with the fucking nutcracker.
You know, this
And then his
writer
nuts were gonna go
also
in there.
did, speaking of knuckles and broken fingers, this writing team wrote that Sonic the Hedgehog movie with James, what's his nuts in it?
Jim Carrey.
And
James
Jim
Marsden?
Carrey and
Oh,
James Marsden.
With the ugly Sonic.
Yeah, it's they
No, they
fixed
fixed
that.
the
Yeah.
Sonic.
That movie's actually a lot of fun.
I've not seen it.
I'm not a Sonic fan or anything. It just was kind of a fun movie.
It
It's
has a
very
good,
similar to this, only not as violent, of course.
It has a good reputation.
Starry-eyed surprise.
Yeah.
You're dead.
That was like that kill.
Yeah, I thought
it was so.
It was
charming.
I thought I was very clever
It
when
was
I wrote
close
that down.
because
Amazing.
it's the star that goes on top of the tree that lights up, and Santa stabs him in the eye with it, then plugs it in. And I loved it because his head slowly catches on fire.
That was the best part. Like this movie had some really nicely just just little moments like that where it like let something do its thing, and that, like Andy says, this just the head slowly
it's just-
igniting.
you see like a little flame, and then it
I
slowly
laughed.
burns.
That's when it really won me over 100%.
It's got some
I
really
think.
Yeah.
good fight choreography too.
There's a grenade kill where Santa throws the grenade into the guys, and then he
in his underwear.
and then he decides to watch
It's
him
like,
explode.
I have to watch this.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the script and like the dialogue was really witty on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I thought like
No, I thought it worked. It was
Yeah.
fine. I was just there was a couple times where I was like, I see you. You're being a little sacky. Sacky. I was
Hacky.
going to say sappy and hacky, and I said sacky. Thought of you, Andy.
Was there a pun?
No, because Santa gets injured, and he's got to take his shirt off to
Oh, yeah,
bandage
that-
himself up.
That was a very nice scene for me.
And I'll tell you, David Harbour has got nice dad bod, and it was covered in these Viking tattoos. Because remember,
Yeah.
he's an ancient Viking man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Santa Daddy.
He has
Santa Daddy.
he has his Rambo moment where he has to like sew himself up and
That was really
and,
funny.
and cauterize the needle.
But it was all with ribbon and wrapping paper.
I didn't notice the ribbon.
You didn't notice
You know what's funny is like, no, for some reason, but that's even better.
the bandage is wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the best.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
No, go
Oh, you.
No, it's like I love fight scenes where they just use whatever's around them as weapons,
Yeah. That's
And-
what I was going to say. Oh, you go
and
again.
you're like using all the like Christmas stuff. Like my favorite was him. You know when you suck on a candy cane and it gets sharp at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stabs somebody with that.
He shivs them like
Yeah.
prison
Yeah.
style.
Right through the face.
Yeah. Totally. Yes. Okay. What other fun moments do
Kelly
we need
was about to
talk
say
about?
something
Oh yeah,
before.
Kelly.
Oh, that was what I was going to mention. The him sucking on the tip of the candy cane and shoving it through the dude's head and pulling him up with it.
There's 2 icicle kills in this. One
Oh,
stabbing
yeah.
and one impalement.
Yeah, that's another Die Hard moment.
Yeah.
with the icicle.
Man bun hammering Viking Santa Claus is what we get like in the last third of it when he's ready to go ham.
He talks about his hammer. like Thor. It's like almost a Thor-esque kind of hammer relationship.
Skull Crusher.
Skull Crusher.
But then he settles for a standard run-of-the-mill sledgehammer like we've got in the garage.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
And he makes it work.
That was when they toss his magic sack into the fire. I thought that was a big moment. Like I kind of get. I was like, oh no.
I was like, is that going to go to the North Pole and kill all the elves?
is that going to rob Santa of his magic? I was like, what's going to happen?
No children are going to get anything.
Oh, he could have like a Superman 2 moment where he acted like it took his power away, but it really didn't.
And in that moment, you were like, oh, Leguizamo meant it when he said Christmas dies tonight.
I thought of Halloween Kills.
Yeah. Do you think that's? I think that might be why they did it.
I think so too.
It was
Absolutely.
a kind of a swing at that line.
It was very silly, though. We have to.
Yeah, he was funny. He threw a couple of fits, as these kind of villains do. The one thing I was kind of disappointed in, and I told Amy in the beginning when I realized they were riffing on Die Hard, was I was waiting for the moment where John Leguizamo was going to try to act like he was one of the hostages, like Hans Gruber did.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the only thing about this movie. I mean, the movie's not perfect. It's fun and cute and entertaining, and it's a good comedy, and with great action. But like, had it done that, had it sealed the deal where he did like a country accent or something.
No, then you'd been mad that they completely just redid Die Hard.
I don't know. That scene's
You'll never be
funny.
happy, you fucking nerd.
No, because it's
Did we not just yell
funny.
about movies just straight up ripping from movies?
Die Hard enough.
But this is a comedy, though.
They don't need to
It
go that
works.
far.
Yeah, I could have done with one more
Yeah, I don't
laugh.
think.
I needed one more laugh out of this movie, and it could have been that. That would have
Oh,
been the
what's
one
her
more laugh
nuts
for me.
from Righteous Gemstones?
Oh, she is so great. You know, as good as she was in
she's
this,
the sister.
she was on Vice Principals.
Gertrude's
too.
mother.
Edie Patterson. She's the best, but on Righteous Gemstone, she's like got this type of character refined to like a razor's edge. She is so funny.
She'll cut you.
Yeah. I really like this. I don't know that I actually have any real complaints about this one for me in my house.
Yeah, I like the family kind of rally.
Yeah, I think I liked it a lot. I think I wanted Kelley. Like I think I like it a lot more than Freddy did.
Yeah, I think you did. Do you feel like
I laughed out loud a lot of times in this.
Did you want them to? Do you feel like
Me too.
all the money should have been burned?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I think that was just
There's
kind
enough.
of a
It's another happy ending, I guess.
One also because it wasn't. I mean, it would take a lot of time, I think, to burn $300 million, and he sat back up
Yeah,
Pretty fast.
before they got through a lot of it.
They resurrected him.
It wasn't even about the money. It was
Yeah.
like that revived him. It was like them believing in Santa.
yeah.
That's the thing. He dies, and then they got to believe in him. People's faces and heads have come off. I love that. They're still going to do this happy shit.
And I do like that they're like, I like the idea that, well, now maybe I will still take this money that I stole and go live this life. You know, I like the amorality of it too. Like everybody was a little shisty. Like even the wife, like trying to get the guy to kill the kid or her sister-in-law first. Like everybody had like a moment where they weren't just a saccharine sweet character, you know, or like some super, even the little girl telling Santa to shove it up their asses. Yeah. Like,
But they also had the redemption because like the family came together to beat that guy to death.
Yeah. It was so that was for me, this was a movie that just worked.
I love that actor too, who played the elf character.
Oh yeah.
He was in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah,
But in a bunch of other
Brandon
stuff, too.
Fletcher. He was codenamed Krampus in this.
Yeah.
But he's great. He's got great comic timing.
How did Leguizamo die again?
And brutally.
The chimney thing where like Santa
He did his little magic trick to go up the chimney.
turns into the magical
transports into
dust.
the chimney.
Fucking strips him like a goddamn chicken wing flat.
Yeah. And he just comes out as meat.
That's what I
on
was
the other
saying.
side.
Like, I feel like the brutality in this movie really ramps up near the end, whereas like the rest of it is like, yes, it's violent, but it's like regular action.
I
movie
would have
violence.
wanted a little bit
Cartoony.
more.
I agree. Like that was part of what I liked about it too. The violence is very cartoony.
Yeah.
I would have wanted more of that cartoony violence throughout than saving it for the like very end.
As far as recommending like movies that are in this same subgenre of like riffing on Die Hard, if you haven't seen, it's not for everyone, but the Workaholics cast made that movie called I think Game Over on Netflix. It's got a lot of good laughs in it, but it's the same kind of idea. It's got also has a similar kind of violence in it.
Yeah.
And if you want to see Adam Devine's dick,
Oh yeah, also Adam Devine is
frontal
fully
male
naked.
nudity will always get that's an automatic point. Thank you for
Yeah.
being brave. Not being brave. Women have been nude and everything.
yeah,
but
come
now
on,
it's
David Harbour,
time.
whip it out.
But it's got some
Yes.
mean moments in it too. So it's not for people that like gentle comedy. It's pretty brutal.
But it's like tonally, it's
It's over the top.
it's over the top, so you can't take it too. Like it's not like you're depressed by it.
Well, one of the great jokes in that is Sam Richardson is dressed exactly like
In the
dude-
Workaholics movie?
Yeah, in that movie Game Over, he's dressed exactly like the dude from Die Hard who was doing the hacking of the computer to unlock the vault. And they actually call attention to it a lot in the movie. It's really funny.
All right, Violent Night. I think it's thumbs up all around.
Yeah.
Jam it on up, jam it on down.
Hell yeah, man. Do not know the movie for next week because the picker never got back to me. They also have a couple more days. So I can't be too mad at it.
Who's our picker?
Maybe they're grinning this week and they'll pick next week.
Yes. they're
While you're
picking,
talking, I'll look
then
them up.
grinning and picking, then grinning. Check your email. Okay. Thanks for not saying anything while I needed a minute to get my notepad.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
guys.
We
Thanks
gave
so
you
much for the
silence
donation.
when you
Drinking.
Thanks so much.
Andy has a drinking
People
problem.
don't want to hear me drink on air.
I wanna hear you drink. Meow.
At the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP if that's something you're in.
Oh.
Patreon.com/NOTLP. Beelzebubs, Alise, I'm sorry you're poorly. I hope you're feeling better.
I love you. I'll see you in a few minutes.
I think it's so funny to say feeling poorly.
Yeah, you feeling poorly?
It sounds classy.
It does, but not really. Alyssa, Branan and Emily, Jeffel, Iona Goodwin,
I ran a great one. Let's be honest.
In this economy,
Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Billsterd,
Oh.
You got an Xbox.
well, Santa was good to him.
a 12-year-old that his best friend just got an Xbox.
My buddy just got an Xbox, guys.
Oh my God, that's
shit.
ridiculous. Bill Farner, Frosted Blakes, Blayne Yogurt, Jordache Jeans, Paul, Jeremy Cassie, Gamora,
Oh, little baby.
Ernie, Dave Siebert, Monica, and Dustin.
Yo.
One more note. I meant to mention it at the beginning. Our latest Topicana, where our friend Fozzie Bear hosted a game show for us, like a Christmas sort of themed game show. We put that out for free for anybody. So if you go to patreon.com/NOTLP,
It's our Christmas gift to you guys.
you can listen to it there.
You're welcome.
You can watch us get really confused by the number of candy canes we still have left to spend on
you-
answering questions.
Yep, and
You can
thank you,
thank me
Fozzie,
for calling off
hosting.
for that.
You can
For
thank
making it happen.
Kelley for calling off.
Yeah.
We called in the troops.
We made an audible. We made a fun. Have you listened to it, Kelly?
Not yet.
I'm
No.
curious what you think.
We had a good time.
We'll have him back. We'll have Fozzie back when all the four of us can play a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do it-
I'd be into it.
An Easter themed or something.
Easter.
Easter?
Easter.
How they know?
All right.
Bye, guys.
Well,
Bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
Happy Christmas soon.
Yeah, Happy Christmas.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with their friends. David Kessler walks the streets of London on four legs, while high above him Ellen Ripley finds some funny eggs. And Freddy laughs at Nancy in her nightmares as she begs to have